hearing Kenneth Okonkwo saying a whole lot of things, attacking the personality of Peter Obi. The same man he said is the best person, was so competent in 2023 general election. He was the spokesperson of Peter Obi. If you watch previous videos, 2022 to 2023 election, when he became the spokesperson, of Peter Obi, you will hear a lot of things he said about him. Wonderful things, beautiful things. He's the man with capacity, competence, character. He's the man that is not corrupt. He's the man that is this. He's the man that is that. Today, just that Peter Obi left their party to another party, Kenneth Okonkwo turned around and began to attack the personality of Peter Obi. Today, you are with them. You are the best person. Tomorrow, you leave them to another place. You are the worst person. Did you just change overnight? Being a spokesperson to Peter Obi, then you are now coming out again, speaking against him with information and things you gathered when you were a spokesperson. That's hypocritical. You are killing your career without knowing, because somebody else tomorrow will want you to do some certain PR for him and all of that. When he watch what you said in 2022-2023 election about your principal Peter Obi, and is watching what you are saying today about him, the person will take you serious. He will know that you are hypocritical. He will know that he can't trust you. He can't rely on you. He can't give you sensitive information. Because if you fall apart with the person, you will come on air and begin to say things the person spoke to you in confidence. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. I have been following up, what's going on in the Nigerian political space. And I think it's beginning to be kind of toxic, in terms of what I see people say and do, and the way people are reacting, when some certain things do happen. So, but specifically in this video, I'm trying to look at, what Kenneth Okonkwo has become, when it comes to PWBs and this departure from the ADC, the African Democratic Congress, to join the Nigerian Democratic Congress, the NDC. Since PWB left, the guy has always been on different forums, either in private, podcasts or in television station. All of his conversation is about PWB, 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 PWB. I don't really know why he has chosen that path, basically. But I think I understand their feelings that, one man they are looking up to that will pull people into their party and, help them, win the election. Nobody can deny the obedient effect. Nobody can deny it. When you come to 2020 general election, nobody will deny the impact of the obedient group where P2B is and will be tomorrow. So they know it and they understand that fact. I recall that even when they were doing this coalition stuff, and that P2B has been attending their meetings, is part of the process and all of that, but he didn't quite join them immediately, because he was emphatically saying then that he will support and be part of the coalition if their mission is to pull Nigeria out of poverty and solve the problem of Nigerians, that he will surely be part of the coalition. He said it clearly. He said, but if that coalition is only about grabbing power from APC, he's not going to be part of it, because his intention is not about grabbing power. His intention is winning the election, using that opportunity to cater for the needs of Nigerians. So that was one of the reasons he didn't just immediately join the party like Atiku, just resign and join. I said it in my video then that Atiku's, resigning almost immediately, the Vidma committee came up to join the ADC, sends a wrong signal. It already shows that he's sure of the ticket of that ADC. And I said it that once the primary of ADC is all about open primary in terms of delegate system and all of that, it will just forget it. Atiku has won. It doesn't matter who you are, because he has a strategy to win primaries, but does not have the strategy to win main election. Check my videos, you will see them there. I said it because his primaries are brutally dollarized. If you listen to Babadati Ahmed, he said he was there during the PDP 2023 election. He saw it with his eyes when they were doing their primaries in PDP. He saw what was happening. And I recall, Dele Mahmood also saying it on TV, then that somebody called him and said, don't bother to contest this thing, because people are sharing, big amount of dollars, and all of that you can't match what they will share, So when you remember all these things, you understand what we mean when we say, when Atiku is telling them is open, no zoning, it's open primary, then there's problem. Every party zoned their ticket except ADC. Why? Because of the interest of one man. The same interest he brought in PDP has scattered PDP, that PDP today has not regained themselves. So that's exactly what played out in ADC. So when P2B saw, the handwriting on the wall, the Balagombe issue, taking the party to court, challenging the leadership of David Mark, INEC role in the interpreting status quo antebellum, and removing the leadership and delisting them from INEC portal, and the matter went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court gave judgment, cleared the status quo antebellum and demanded that they restore the Mark leadership pending when High Court will hear the case. Now the same High Court is saying they cannot hear the case, that the plaintiff has requested that the case be reassigned to another judge. Again, the same court, is saying that even the CTC copy of that is the certified true copy of Supreme Court judgment have not even been, received and all of that. So they said so they can't hear the case until the chief judge, who they wrote the request to reassign the case, will, respond to the request and direct on the next step. That's why they said they have, adjourned the matter sine die, that is indefinitely. So nobody knows when that matter will come up again in court. So when you look at what is going on, why is the Balagombe requesting for the assignment, the plaintiff? So these are part of the strategies to keep ADC in a chaotic and a terrible situation, so that at the end of the day, they will lose out. They won't have candidates. So by then, they have already destroyed the party. That is the idea. And now, this is what Peter Obi saw. He knew that there's no way, even if High Court have decided that case yesterday, all right, there's no way that decision will be in favor of ADC. He saw it because he told everybody months ago that the mission, the crisis in Labour Party, the crisis in ADC is because they don't want him, Peter Obi, to be on the ballot paper for the 2027 general election. That is where anywhere he goes, they will come and create confusion and chaos. He said it clearly, and he said he must be on the ballot. And I think it's about achieving that, dream of being in the ballot. Because when people are not in your position, they won't understand what you are going through. That is the truth. So if you are comparing Obi and Atiku, who cares about Atiku? Nobody cares about Atiku. Tinubu don't even care about him. The only time Tinubu has spoke about Atiku was when he was talking about privatization. How we privatize power. Darkness came. How we want to privatize ADC. That's the only job he has shown to Atiku. Peter Obi has been the person everywhere they go. APC people is Peter Obi. So Peter Obi's situation is more precarious than Atiku's position. So that's why you can't compare both orange with a mango. You compare orange with orange. That's the truth. So Peter Obi saw all these things and he knows he's the target. So that's why he's creating another opportunity for himself. Plan B. If this one is going this way, he's going to leave. So, and he said it clear the day they come on May 2nd, 2026 to NDC. He said it on that day that his reason for the campaign is there are so many court cases that is challenging even the survival of the party as it is. Remember, there's another one for the registering ADC, that was instituted by some former legislators and all of that. Minus the Balagombe issue, the only one dragging them now is the Balagombe. Is what is even stifling them. I think they have about 3 different court cases, but one is already squeezing their neck, the Balagombe issue. So when I now tune up TV, hearing Kenneth Okonkwo saying a whole lot of things, attacking the personality of Peter Obi, the same man he said is the best person, was so competent in 2023 general election. He was the spokesperson of Peter Obi. If you watch previous videos, 2022 to 2023 election, when he became the spokesperson, of Peter Obi, you will hear a lot of things he said about him. Wonderful things, beautiful things. He's the man with capacity, competence, character. He's the man that is not corrupt. He's the man that is this. He's the man that is that. Today, just that Peter Obi left their party to another party, Kenneth Okonkwo turned around and began to attack the personality of Peter Obi that is not competent. So I don't really understand where these people, stand. I don't even understand the kind of politics that these people do. Today you are with them, you are the best person. Tomorrow you leave them to another place, you are the worst person. Did you just change overnight? So this is the issue. So anyways, we will look into this particular interview because this is the main nitty-gritty of all he has been saying. Kel Amengwa of the Channels TV asked him that salient question. Why are you turning against Peter Obi? You will hear what he said. She also asked him, you said you want Igbo person to be president, that the South, in the southern zone, the South have produced president. South, the other time was South Jonathan. The other time was Southwest or Obasanjo, right? Today again is Southwest. So the Southeast have never produced president or vice since 1999. Democracy came in, which is true. And you want this 2027 to be Igbo person, somebody from the Igbo extraction. And the anchor now asked him, now Peter Obi is that Igbo person who is already contesting and who is already having that support. Why are you not supporting him? He couldn't answer that straight question. It was going round and round and round. So because all this is about, will I call it jealousy or will I call it, I don't know what to call it basically, because I don't know how this whole thing just turned around in a split of seconds. When he was in ADC, Kenneth Okonkwo, you only speak about the 2023 election, how people didn't fight for the mandate. That's so ridiculous. We're going to play that interview, all right? After that interview, what he said we'll come back to analyze it. But before I play the video, if you are new to this channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel, so that when my next new video drop, you'll get the alert as it is hot. Okay? So let's listen to Kenneth Okonkwo in this specific question. There are many things that were discussed, but my interest caught this particular angle so that we'll dissect what he said at the end of the day. Don't go away, guys. Let's watch him. Let's hear what he said. Hypocritical people.
You're a member of the National Working Committee of the ADC, and proudly so. At a time when many members of your party are decamping, why the loyalty at a time like this?
Well, first and foremost, no member of the NWC has decamped.
Okay.
So you're just talking about members of the political party. And then when you say Kwakwansia and the obedient movement left ADC, excuse me, Kwakwansia movement came into ADC 6 weeks ago. Obedient movement came in 1st January because they indicated coming in December 31st. So what is it? They were the last to come. They were the first to go.
Well, it
telling you.
I understand that, but it did feel
Very
like
good.
the energy of the ADC picked up speed in January when the obedient movement followed Peter Obi into the ADC. It's perception, may not be reality.
No.
But it is perception.
First and foremost, it is not reality. By July 2nd, when we unveiled, the whole world had it. By July 29, when we had our National Executive Committee that dissolved the old executives of ADC and then formalized the new executives, the world had it. When we were accepted into the portal of INEC by September, the world had it. So I would not understand how squatters will come in and you are saying that they did this and that. I said the last to come in, the first to go. So you can imagine. And you know what it means? Let me tell you something. It's like when you are a squatter and you go into a house and the landlord gives you a platform for you to start your life again. And you now went around telling the whole world that, look, oh, if I hadn't come into squat in this man's house, this man would not have been anything. No, you are just an ingrate. Because if you were comfortable in your former house, you wouldn't have come in. Let's take Peter Obi, for instance. He came in from Labour Party. Labour Party had 2 factions. When he came in, he couldn't even bring either faction to ADC. He had his vice presidential candidate. He couldn't even bring him to ADC. He had 1 governor. He couldn't bring him to ADC. So who did he bring to ADC? ADC helped him to show up his political career that was already decimated by his own incompetence and by his own incapacity, because he was the undisputed leader in Labour Party. Undisputed. He could just have said anything and it would be done. I was one of his armor bearers. I was one of his executors. If he had said anything that he liked, I was willing to execute it. Sir, say what you should say as a leader. No.
What happened between both of you? You used to be very close. I remember in 2023, Peter Obi was like a saint to you.
Very good. I cannot remember using that word saint.
I said he was like a saint to you. It was almost like this ethereal being. That was how you marketed him to the Nigerian people. This ethereal being that is incorruptible and capable of changing our country. That was your rhetoric about this man. What has happened now?
It is good you brought it forth. I am one of the most accountable and transparent politicians to Nigeria, because my interest is in rebuilding Nigeria and the Nigerian people who don't have any need whatsoever to suffer. A lot of people always make insinuations. By 2019, Atiku Abubakar brought Peter Obi to contest with him. I fought that ticket.
Why?
Because I said they would do 8 years. Then Buhari had done 4 years. And that means it will not go well for Ndibo. Because by 2023, I wanted an Igbo man to sit as president. And I did not want the presidency and the power in Nigeria to be in any sector for more than 8 years. So if they had come into power 2019, they would have spent 8 years. With Buhari's 4 years, that would have been 12 years. I came against that ticket. That was when I joined APC. And I remember I told Ndibo, it's not because of me I'm joining this APC then. It is because I know that if Ndibo supports Buhari 2019, we will not have a bargaining power for Buhari to support us 2023. And I told APC plainly, this is my mission here. After the 2019, Buhari came in. Ndibo did not listen to me. They did not vote for him. And in 2023, we didn't have much bargaining power in APC. But even as we did not have bargaining power, I have already said that justice of the time demands that somebody from Southeast must be president. And luckily, of course, Obi was not my first choice because I didn't know him. We had never sat down to discuss. I went to PDP, then to the people I'm close to. I said, look, you have to give one candidate, all of you. It's not enough that you say it's from our side. You must have to work hard to pick the ticket. All of you must work together. I went to APC and told them the same thing. I said, give me the ticket of any qualified person and you see what I can do. Leave the rest to God. And then none of them got it. And unfortunately, in APC, Tinubu made the unfortunate mistake of picking a fellow Muslim. Because anywhere I am, I give 100% loyalty. At any point I can't give 100% loyalty, I'm gone. So Peter Obi was clever enough to separate himself and joined Labour Party. And that thing I wanted, I had. That was when I started studying about Peter Obi. And then I studied about him. Of course, I was already biased in his favor because I wanted him to be president, because I wanted somebody from the Southeast. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It has something to do with justice. We are a majority tribe, and it was the turn of the Southeast to produce the president. From 1999, we've not produced the president or vice. And the Southwest had produced president and vice. The South had produced president and vice. We have not produced president or vice. So for me, it was a purpose. I was very passionate about it. And I did what I did. And thank God, in my own opinion, won the election. But that's where the problem starts. If you're dealing with me, if I do my own part, you must do your own part, or there will be consequences.
Peter Obi didn't do his own part?
Not at all.
What was his part? What did you want him to do?
I wanted him to fight ferociously for his mandate. A lot of people died. A lot of people were beaten. A lot of people were destroyed. A lot of people's businesses went in. Some people left all they are doing for this cause. What have you, Peter Obi, sacrificed? You're not willing to sacrifice anything. What are you doing in politics? I maintain politics is not for boys, it's for men. Do
you still want Onibo to be a president of this country?
Very well.
Who, apart from Peter Obi, can you rally behind right now? Flawed as he may be. I've watched your interviews. I've heard everything that you said. Yeah. I've heard everything that you have been saying.
Yes.
But he's still a front runner, and he's Onibo as well. Why not support him?
First and foremost.
Are you going to now look for someone else to begin this journey to the presidency? You already have this one. He may be flawed. Oh, they've said all kinds of things. He doesn't have the sagacity. He doesn't want to sacrifice. Someone called him a vulture, that he feasts on dead parties. Whatever it is, he's Onibo, and he's a front runner. Why aren't you supporting him if that is your zeal, if that is what you really want?
Very good. I left him July 2024. So it has nothing to do with 2027. I left him because he saw Labour Party die in his hands. And he was the only and undisputed leader. I left him because he was not decisive. I felt discouraged, demoralized, and deceived. Because I'm Igbo. And we follow our leaders when they show courage. We follow men of valor, not men of victim mentality. You must lead and you must be in the front of the battle. So when Labour Party died, what else is he done? He refused to revive Labour Party. You knew you don't want primary election and you can't build a political party. If these people are bold and brave as they claim, why don't they build a political party? I suggested this early enough. Is it that will fight for Labour Party and consolidate it, or will leave? He now came into the coalition. And then, because they say you should go to primary, you ran away. My brother Peter Obi, if you sincerely believe you can win this election for Ndibo, this is your trial. Don't come to say, I'm Igbo, I'm in this, because in 2023, You say, do not vote for me because I'm Igbo. Vote for me because I have the capacity, the competence, and the character. Use that your capacity to prove that you can get it. And despite the fact that I already had differences as to the manner he does his things, I was always watching his back in NWC. So when he said he wanted the NOS that will organize the primary, I said, fine, me too. I don't have a problem with that. When his aide was in charge of the registration line of members of ADC, I said, fine, so that he will be assuaged. So even when you organize your own primary, you're still afraid. Come on, let him step aside. We are not chickens in Igbo land. We are eagles. We open our wings and fly. We have 1,000,001 person that can be president. In short, almost any Igbo man with Igbo sense
give
will
me three.
be a better president.
Give me 3 that can beat Tinubu right now. Give me 3. Yes, give me 3.
Any secondary school
Give
person.
me 3 now.
I don't need to name it. I said every Igbo man that has Igbo sense can beat Tinubu.
Before I went on the break, I said give me 3 people who have built a political base, contested recently, and have the ability to beat Tinubu from the southeast. That is not Peter Obi.
And I was telling you, I was coming into the strategy. Without this issue that you need to strategize, any Igbo man that is of the age of voting can administer this country better than Tinubu. But you see, that enough will not win you
Elections, yes.
And that's where I am telling you about strategy. That was what I did. For you to know how I want an Igbo man to be president without asking for compensation. In 2023, I had already figured from 2015 that there will be vacancy there. And I started projecting. And in 2023, I attacked. So in 2027, there is an incumbent from the south. It will be impossible except God decrees otherwise. Because we subject ourselves to the majesty of the Almighty God. It will be impossible to use somebody from the south, in my own opinion, to tackle him. That was why Obi would have ensured that Tinubu does not take his victory if he believed that he won. That was what MKO did. After weighing out these things, there's a need for strategic alliance. And when Obi came into the coalition, it would have been a beautiful thing. And then because of your selfish interest, your selfish purpose, you now want to throw Ndibo under the bus. You want to leave the coalition that you came in willingly and voluntarily. Nobody promised you the ticket. And because you went around telling people to give you the ticket, they refused, you want to go. It's better that the whole Nigeria, because the election of 2027 is going to be the people of Nigeria against Tinubu. It's better that all of us stay in one coalition. We succeed together or we fail together. And everybody would have had the trust and love from Ndibo for being consistent and not being conflagrating. Because that is what we are going to agree on. We will say it is our turn. And whoever is the incumbent, if it's not Igbo, if it's a northerner, will now support us. And we will produce the president. And if by the grace of God we are the vice president in 2027, it's an improvement. Because we've never been vice president since 1999. It's a very clean and straightforward something. And you, Obi, want to throw all these things to the boss because of your interest. And you want to project that it is only you that can be president. Who are you? No, who are you? Is that not an insult to more than 20 million Ndibo? You made third class in the university. And then you're saying it is only you. How?
All right, welcome back. You heard what he said. Quite a whole lot of stuff. But I think we look at it in this direction now. First, the anchor was, kind of asking him, about why did he turn against Peter Obi. He started bringing up history and all of that. So he doesn't know him. It was one article brought him. Then he now began to research about him and all of that. So the question is this. Why were you his spokesperson all through 2022 till 2023 election? You came on TV, Obi or nothing, Obi is this, Obi is the best candidate, he has good qualifications, he did this in Anambra as a governor. You know his credentials, you know truly what he did. So now, why are you pained that he left ADC to join another party, NDC? Don't forget there's freedom of association, freedom to assemble, and he has made his choice of who to associate with. Is there anything wrong with that? He has the right, and he has established his right. He's not breaching constitution for leaving ADC to NDC. Again, from what this guy was saying, Kenneth Okonkwo was saying, for me, it's so pathetic seeing him in this precarious situation. Because if I were him, I would maintain my integrity, maintain my sanity. I won't be on air, different TV station, singing Peter Obi, attacking his personality and his person. I will not. If he has moved on, you ask me anything about him, I say, well, I think Peter Obi made a choice that's suitable for him and he has moved on and joined another different party. Me, I'm in ADC, so we are working on hard to rebuild that party. But the moment, even when they didn't ask him about Peter Obi, we still bring Peter Obi into that conversation. What is the obsession with Peter Obi? That's what I don't really understand. And Peter Ame, said in one of his interviews that nobody knows Kenneth Okonkwo when it comes to politics, that it was Peter Obi who brought him to limelight, especially at the national level. Okay, because Kenneth Okonkwo tried to contest governorship of Enugu State. He didn't make it. He was thrown out because he couldn't even buy the form. I think it was 22 million, at that time. He didn't buy the form. He was kind of ejected. So he left PDP, joined APC. When they brought in the Muslim ticket, he left them and complained, came on TV and complained and complained and complained. And I think he wanted to contest for House of Reps, National Assembly position. And that was in 2023 or thereabout. So along the line, he dropped the ambition, became spokesperson for Peter Obi and all of that. So when you look at his political journey prior to meeting Peter Obi, there's nothing to show. That's the honest truth. He didn't make any headway. He didn't achieve anything. You know what it means? He's talking down on somebody who has become governor for 8 years, who is doing well in his private sector life before he became, governor. He said, if there are many interviews, there's so many of them that he has held, talking about how Peter Obi doesn't like primaries, how he was anointed by Ojukwu to become APGA candidate after he lost the primary, this and he was just saying all kinds of stuff. But he himself couldn't win any. He couldn't even buy form, not to talk of contesting to primaries to win. But he's talking down on somebody who has achieved a whole lot of milestones with credible record and all of that. So that's pathetic and ridiculous. So I don't know how he turned to become an outlier when it comes to all these things. So I was surprised, seeing him speak like this and, say all kinds of things that is unprintable. But the anchor asked him, from what he was, explaining in that video, which you just watched, was talking about how, his plan was in 2027, let it be an Igbo, extraction that will become president from the South, since the Southwest and South has produced governor, president and vice president altogether. So Jonathan was vice, he became president from South. In the Southwest, Obasanjo was president for 8 years, Tinubu now president, Osinbajo was vice. So the Southeast now has never produced president or vice. Is correct on that analogy. And his ambition or intention or position was in 2027, he wanted to see somebody from Igbo extraction to become either president or vice, basically. But since it's the south of the turn of the South, based on the written rule, so probably the Southeast to be president. So, and the anchor was asking him, okay, that's perfect, that's fantastic. Since that's your mission, now, from the Southeast, who is the person? There's nobody now contesting from Southeast for presidential position and all of that, apart from Peter Obi. So why are you not supporting him? Since he is the person that will actualize this your dream and ambition. Why? Why are you attacking him? Why are you not supporting him? He couldn't give a straightforward answer. You see that? And the lady now asked him further. Okay, name 3 people who you think. He said anybody from Igbo extraction that has Igbo sense can become president. Very simple thing. Since Peter Obi is not competent, since Peter Obi is this and that, is who else in the Igbo extraction that is contesting today that will beat Tinubu? Tell us. Very simple question. He would have named names, but he didn't. Because what he's saying is not backed by facts. It's backed by emotions, hatred, that somebody just made a choice that is beneficial to him as a person, which is what virtually every politician does. They said politics has no permanent friend, no permanent enemy, only permanent interest. Peter Obi's interest is to become president, to change Nigeria, to create a new Nigeria. That is his mission. And any obstacle that will stop him, he will jump that obstacle and pass. ADC wanted to be an obstacle because you can see what the court judgment has become. You can see what Federal High Court said. Adjourning their case, sine die, indefinitely. So if that case, and ADC cannot progress without Federal High Court determining that case, that is the position. So what is the fate of ADC now? That is the question. ADC has no fate when it comes to 2027 election. Register is closing tomorrow, 10th of May. I'm making this video today, 9th of May. So tomorrow, register goes to INEC. Register is closed. No party registers anybody anymore until after 2027 election. So if you are stuck in ADC, what is your fate? As a candidate, I'm not talking as a member. Kenneth Okonkwo was not contesting the election. He talked about National Working Committee members, that none of them have resigned. I think he was part of the National Working Committee. They are not contesting any election, any position. So whatever is happening in ADC has nothing to do with them. They are just members, the leaders, they stay there. Compared to somebody who has ambition, who is ready to contest for a position, the person cannot stay. That is the truth. So coming to project half-truth to people, that's deceitful. National Working Committee member like him, who is not contesting for any position, why would he come to another party? He won't come. He will wait until when they resolve this and they prepare for 2031. He has nothing to lose. But somebody who is contesting, who doesn't have another chance, the person cannot, take chances, because this is the last chance for Peter Obi. That is what they don't understand. Because in 2031, when the power will shift to the north, Peter Obi will not contest for that 80 years. I think now it's 60 something. By the time you add the next 4 years to his age, plus 8 years he will wait for the north, it will be close to 80, if not 80 years. So at that time, Peter Obi can come out and say he want to be president. He'll be supporting you to become elder statesman at that time. This is what Atiku is supposed to be doing now. Supporting younger candidates and giving them advice, even financial support, to make sure that a good person leads the country. Not him at his age, still fighting to be president after 5 attempts or 6 attempts. So all those guys, Kenneth Okonkwo, Dino Melaye, Dele Mamudu, all of them are Atiku supporters. So why is he paying them that Peter Obi left? Since Peter Obi is insignificant to them, because from what Kenneth Okonkwo is saying in that video, he said that Peter Obi is a squatter. He came in as a squatter. So and the squatters, when they stay, they leave because they are squatters. Why are you guys pained when a squatter who is in your house has left your house? You should be happy that the squatter has left, so that you will enjoy the space in your house. It's not what it's supposed to be. But it's not the same thing with them today. They are pained, they are unhappy, and they are shouting, why will this guy, after we have built hope around him, he just suddenly become? I think some of them didn't see this coming. When Peter Obi was beating his chest that they want to stop me from being in the ballot, but I must be in the ballot, they didn't know he was behind the scene, finding alternative for himself, which an average politician will surely do. So I don't see why they should be pained. Since Peter Obi has, doesn't bring anything to their table, since Peter Obi matters nothing to them, they shouldn't be pained. They should let him breathe. He has left the party. I don't know why he becomes the topic for the party. He's the topic. Peter Obi is the headline. Is let Atiku they come from ADC and join another party. Let's see how many million members that will join that party in 48 hours. Let's see it. Since they want to test popularity or they want to test support base, let us see it. Which person in ADC, as it is today, will they come from that party and join a new party that has no structure, no name, newly registered party, and move the membership of that party from 1 point something million or thereabout to 10 point something million in 48 hours? Let us see the person. He said that Peter Obi came to ADC. He did not bring the governor of Labour Party to join. Peter Obi can't force people to join any party. No, he can't. People have their right to make decision on where they want to belong. It's not his job. He can only poach you. You make your decision. So the governor of Abia State is watching the waters because he knows the challenge he's going through, being a lone, governor from Labour Party, and with APC Deputy Speaker Ojus Okalo and the rest of them attacking him up from all corners. He's watching things to make the right choice for himself. That is it. So then he forgot that the day at the Nike resort when Peter Obi, officially joined the ADC, Senator Victor Ome was there. Abaribe was there. I think Ihedi handed a whole lot of people followed him that day to that part. As he has left ADC now, those same people have also, they come from ADC with him and followed him. You forgot that many people in 2023, when you, Kenneth Okonkwo, was the spokesperson, you remember what Obedient Wave did. Many people today in National Assembly, State House of Assembly, even governorship and what have you, they end up there because of Obedient Wave. The moment you join Labour Party, support Peter Obi, Obedient supports you. And today, those hypocrites who went through Labour Party, through Obedient Wave, now have the camp and join APC. So what did you do about those people that benefited from Obi's name? And the same thing will happen in 2027. So when people are following him to anywhere he goes, they are following him because they know on his name they stand. On his name they will achieve their goal to become what they were contesting for. It's not about singing on your mandate. It's Peter Obi's name is the name. Peter Obi is the ADC, if you don't know. That's why he has gone. Kenneth Okonkwo and his crew are crying. That's the point. So they should be happy that he has gone. At least they don't have problem. They do their primary, they give ticket article, which they want to give the ticket, and because he has said it with his mouth that he's rooting for a northern candidate. That's only northern candidate that will win the southern APC candidate, Tinubu. That's what he said in some of his interviews before. So now Peter Obi has gone. You should be happy so that you'll be able to, support that your northern candidate, which is Atiku, for him to go and beat Tinubu. And write it down. Atiku will never beat Tinubu. Even in a free, fair election, Atiku will not win Tinubu. Go and write it down. He doesn't have that mandate. He doesn't. He can't. He can't win. As we are speaking now, the one chapter in Adamawa Atiku State have already, disowned Atiku. What did they call himself that day? They suspended him from the party, from ADC in his home state. And don't forget, you will join the party from your ward in your local government. So if the state are suspending Atiku already from the party, so I don't even understand what is playing in that ADC. A lot of crisis in that ADC. That's the honest truth. So when you come to listen to what Kenneth Okonkwo was saying, he's contradicting himself in a lot of things, and he's not being truthful, and answering the questions. He will go halfway. You, Kenneth Okonkwo, you have never contested even any primary to win, to become anything politically. You have not. And you are attacking somebody who has won, become governor 8 years, become vice presidential candidate, become presidential candidate, which you acknowledge that Peter Obi even won the election, that your anger is that I did not fight for the election. Let me address that. Coming to that point you made, it simply means that you don't know who Peter Obi, who you are the spokesperson for, is. Peter Obi is a man that works by the rules of the game. He doesn't change rules. He follows rules. When that election is all announced, people were ready to march the cities, and he told them, no, we'll go to the court. That's what they told us to do, go to court. We are going to the court. Peter Obi is somebody that has benefited from the court system. Don't forget, when he was governor, he was impeached twice and court. No, the first election, they sworn in Ngige. Then court brought him back after Ngige spent 3 years. So that's one victory when he got from the court. He was impeached again. The court returned him back. So he had confidence in the judiciary, in as much as he didn't know that a lot of things have changed in that judiciary. He knew when he was governor. So he believed in them. He said, we are going to the court. He provided boxes of documents and all of that. At the end of the day, the court upheld Tinubu's win. Right? Now, what Kenneth Okonkwo wants him to do is to march the street, begin to do lawless things so that he will claim the mandate. Let me take you back to Hope, 1993, when Abiola won election. And the election was nullified. So the election was acclaimed as the most freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria. But the military annulled the election. Babangida annulled the election. What happened? MK Abiola marched to the street, began to claim that he's the winner. And don't forget, in his case, the result was not announced. INEC, the NEC, the National Electoral Commission there, was asked not to announce any result. That's Humphrey Mosu at that time, who was the NEC chairman. So what happened? The man mobilized himself, went to the street, started. In fact, he was even saying he will form a parallel government. This was a military regime at that time. How did the MKO end up? He was thrown to the prison. He died there. He was died. That's how his chapter closed at that time. That's exactly what they want Peter Obi to go and do. In the history of Peter Obi, have you ever had Peter Obi had problem with somebody? You have never heard of it. He lived in the UK, both in Nigeria, even when he was governor. They only hated him because there's no crumb for these politicians to grab. When they put up high cost of bills to fix something in the state, he will do it with cheaper resources and get the same result. So they don't like him because money is not flowing as it used to flow to politicians. That's why they don't like him. So what now happened? Kenneth Okonkwo want him to hit the street, start creating chaos, then they will arrest him and put him in prison. Maybe by today, him and the Kanu would have been in the same place. Look at what they did to Kanu. Bundled him from Kenya back home and tried him for nothing and then dump him there. That's what they do to people. So Peter Obi cannot do that thing. It's not his nature. He rather fulfill that position. So if you want him to behave like that, and that is not his nature, it means you don't know him properly. That is the honest truth. So you can't be saying you are angry that he did not defend the vote that people casted for him and stuff like that. No. Blame the system that rigged the election to another person. That's where the problem is. So if you march the street and do all of this, you think the same people will come back and say, okay, sorry, it's not Tinubu that won, it's Peter Obi. It cannot happen. Why did the judiciary, why didn't they? You're a lawyer. But the court system did not even hold INEC accountable to produce even the result they announced. How did they collect it? How did the result came about? They didn't. They didn't do anything. They were attacking the plaintiffs, the guys that brought case to court. The issue of certificate issue of the president, they did nothing. Even today, what now happened? They now even remove, even if you forge results, it's not a crime to contest election. So we are leaving the fundamental problems, attacking somebody that is on his own. The problem is the system. How do you change the system? That is the problem. So if you wanted a Southeast person to become president, this is the opportunity for you to move your support base to support the person. He's the only person coming from Southeast. Even in 2023, how many Southeast persons supported Peter Obi? All of them were attacking him, going in different TV stations, attacking him, saying, oh, what will our offer? Until he pulled the votes he pulled with his obedient base. Some people have even come out to say that they are the founders of obedience, even before Peter Obi came out to contest for president. Is that not so funny? Obedience was formed by his name, Obi. And I know key guys in that platform that time. I know them. You can talk of Mo. You can talk of Yusuf. What's his name again? Yeah, somebody, Yusuf and the rest of them. And that time, some group is coming out now to kill him that day. So all this is irrelevant. Highly irrelevant. Say they have sacked Peter Obi and Yunus Atanko for the obedient, movement. So it's like somebody will come out and say, "I sacked Dangote from Dangote refinery." That's exactly what those guys are saying. I don't know why Kenneth Okonkwo is turning against Peter Obi. I don't think it's necessary. Peter Obi has done a lot. He has achieved a lot compared to him. So you can't even compare both of them. Politically, Peter Obi has gone far. And people knew Kenneth Okonkwo more when he became spokesperson. Going to TV stations, speaking eloquently. I can give him that. He speaks eloquently and all of that. But yeah, he's goofing right now. Many things he's saying is not the true position. We have heard how Peter Obi was even brought back from London to come and contest that governorship election at that time. I know the story. How they convinced him and brought his name. I was in Anambra there. He first did a poster. Is Anambra cost or are we the cause? I saw that. He just did that poster. That's what he wrote there, put his face on it. I saw it. I said, who is this man? They still told me it's from Agolo. He's based in London. He's a wealthy man in London, doing very well and all of that. I went and started thinking what is it, because Anambra have been suffering. No leader. They brought in Mbadunuju at that time. And the bourgeois in Anambra, the political bigwigs who sponsor people, they drained Mbadunuju at that time, make his government useless. He didn't achieve anything because allocation comes, he sent it to those people. Ngige came in, they want to do something to Ngige. Ngige fought them. That's why they removed him through the court. He refused. They kidnapped him. Remember the story. Then Ngige fought. I always give Ngige credit for creating that platform, fighting these godfathers in Anambra. Then Peter Obi came. Peter Obi didn't fight with them like Ngige did. He used another style by shutting down all funding, anything going to politicians. They then on their own left it. That's why they call him Akagom. That is stingy. He said he's not stingy. He's a wealthy person, but he have allergy, spending money the wrong way. That's what he said. So that's how they left him. He said he doesn't allow them to come to government house to come and be drinking champagne. He said government house is not a party house. If you want to see the governor, he will tell the person, I'm coming to your house. You will go to the person's house, drink his own champagne there. So Savannah State Fund. So you go to the Covenant and listen to his video, how we govern the state and all of that. You will understand what I'm saying. So that's why they don't like him. But being a spokesperson to Peter Obi, then you are now coming out again, speaking against him with information and things you gathered when you were a spokesperson. That's a hypocritical. You are killing your career without knowing, because somebody else tomorrow who will want you to do some certain PR for him and all of that. When he watch what you said in 2022-2023 election about your principal Peter Obi, and is watching what you are saying today about him, the person will take you serious. He will know that you are hypocritical. He will know that he can't trust you. He can't rely on you. He can't give you sensitive information. Because if you fall apart with the person, you will come on air and begin to say things the person spoke to you in confidence. That's exactly what you are doing. That's why many organizations have this non-disclosure agreement, NDA. You can't come on air and be maligning your principal by virtue of the things both of you have discussed and said and did. It's wrong. It's wrong. So the time you'll be on TV, talk about your party, talk about the party's next step, talk about what is going on in your party, in terms of the new, high court ruling that the matter is adjourned indefinitely. That's the kind of thing you say. What is the party thinking? What is their next plan? How will they feel candidate for this election and all? That's what you're supposed to do. Not talking about Peter Obi who has moved on to another different party. He has moved on. He didn't wrong your party. He came in. Your party is not favorable for him. He left. I don't know why it's a problem. It's like traveling abroad. You travel to Germany. You went there, spent 6 months. You discover that this place is not where you can stay. There's too much cold. You can't understand their language. You can't even get a job. You didn't get paper to work. You decided to go back to your country, or you move from Germany to Austria. German people won't be angry that you left them. They will even be happy that instead of you being here, being a nuisance to the country, you have left another different country. And you may go to Austria, and in 6 months, you are doing well. So I don't know why Peter Obi's departure is paining them, because they know the party system is built around this guy. They know he's the one that had the support base. And it's proven by the number of people that migrated from their different parties and everywhere to join the NDC. In 48 hours, they rose to 10.4 million votes from around 1 point something million. I can't remember exactly the baseline before they rose, but the magnitude, of registration was something else. If you go to their S handle, NDC was like, which people want to crash our system? The number of registration is outrageous. Millions of people joined just because Peter Obi moved to that party. That is the star. When Jesus was born, the star was there. The 3 wise men followed the star to find him. You can't quench a star. So they don't understand, and I want them. ADC, if you guys miss Peter Obi, your party will become extinct and you will go into oblivion. I told them that months ago, that Peter Obi is their best bet, but they refuse to zone ticket to the south. If you zone it to the south, you eliminate some people already. All those southerners who are interested at Peter Obi and Damage, they can go and fight it out for themselves. They can even have conversation. Peter Obi will say, just give me this chance, make I go. Next one, you can contest, I will support you that time. This is my last slot. Amaechi may consider, okay, go, I'll give you the support. As gentleman people, they can agree on their terms. And one person will step down, or they do the voting, whoever wins goes. So that's it. And they know the truth. This is Southern period. Why are they bringing the Northerners? Kenneth Okonkwo is supporting a Northerner. He said it before now that he will support a Northern candidate against a Southern candidate. That no Southern candidate will beat Tinubu. Is the Northern candidate. And this candidate is Atiku. That's why he's paying them. So you can't use Obi to shine. Go and shine on your own. It is time for Atiku now to prove that his capability, to prove that his support base he has, is hoping to use to win the election. That's the time. So why are they shouting, crying? So I watched this interview and I was like, what is this guy saying? Not saying the truth. It's not. So coming to be saying Peter Obi don't like primaries. Peter Obi's problem with primaries is most primaries are not free and fair and credible. People share money to delegate system we used to use before now, that this electoral law now changing to direct primaries or consensus. Even the consensus, for you to achieve consensus, some people will share money to those who will do the process to agree on who. They can say share money. Peter Obi does not share money. Say, I know they give shishi. He doesn't share money. Any money he's spending is for an activity. But to give people money to vote for him, he will not do it. Then he was saying something. Yes, Peter Obi said, don't vote for me. He has never done campaign and said, I'm an Igbo man. Vote for me or it's Igbo turn. He has never done any campaign like that. He will always tell Igbo people, don't vote for me because I'm Igbo. Vote for me because you believe in me that I have what it takes to do this job. He said it everywhere. Don't vote for me because I'm a Christian. Don't vote for me because I'm vote for me because you believe I have the capacity, the competence, the empathy, the character to do this job. That has been his slogan all 2023 election. So it's not a partial person. He like fairness, he like equity, he like transparency. Politicians, especially from our crime, they don't have integrity. Daniel Buala is one, what he said about Tinubu, posted about Tinubu, did everything. Then no mockery, all of them, Today, where are they? Then there's ambassador to Mexico. Daniel Buala is spokesperson to the president. The same man, he castigated. If you ask him, he says it's just an opposition thing. He's just doing his job as opposition. No. If you have credibility, you can't take a job that way, pinch on your image, your credibility. No, this is not cruise. Many things you are saying is on the media, it's on the social media, it's on everywhere. In 100 years, people will see it, listen to it. That's the point. You have children. How will your children feel when people are telling them, look at what your father is saying, look at. I mean, we should think beyond now. All right. So that's my take on all of this. But I think Kenneth Okonkwo should refrain from this thing he's doing. It's not helping himself. And whatever he's saying against Mr. Obi will not change the mind of all his followers. They are following him not because of what people are saying. They are following him because what they believed he is. That is the thing. This is the most cleanest politician I've ever seen in our crime. The most cleanest. The man who can tell you how he make his money. They asked me the other day, how did you make the money that you are driving Rolls Royce? He said his father has company. Nobody is asking about your father. They say, how did you make your money? He never told us. He didn't say it. That he was going to school with Mercedes at that time. That's what he said. How does that answer how you make your money? So how many politicians will come out now and say, this is how I made my money, including the president? Nobody. That is what we are talking about. That's the kind of future country we want to build, where people will transparently come out and say, I work in such a place, I have this business. You go and check, it's true. Not people are having wealth without enterprise because they looted government when they entered there. So these are what the kind of future Nigeria want to build. That's why it's telling you that a new Nigeria is possible. So it's a very simple man. It doesn't look at the other day at the airport, people fighting and harassing themselves. A park came down to resolve their crisis. Which politicians will do that? They will pass with their siren now. Someone that care. But anyways, it's Nigerian responsibility to choose who leads them. For me, I know who I'm voting for. I know who my family will vote for. When the time comes, I see the candidates we will choose. I choose based on competence, capacity, character, integrity, empathy, and result. That's why I choose. I don't care where you come from. This is what I choose. So, in fairness and in equity, Kenneth Okonkwo, Peter Obi is from Southeast, and you want Southeasterner to become president in 2027. So you can see how you expose yourself. Thank you, Kela Megwa, for that question you asked him. Thank you for asking him that question. In as much as he tried to dodge, but that question pinched his conscience. You want Igbo person. Igbo person is there. Support the Igbo person. No, you can't. You are speaking against Igbo person. Do not support the Northern, who is not their turn to become president. That is the issue. So, I don't know. It says zoning. You don't support zoning. If you don't support zoning, then you start protesting against federal character. Let them scrap Federal Character Commission. That is it. But when it comes to National Assembly, they will do the distance there, right? When it comes to presidency, if Santana is the president, Northern is the vice, and vice versa. Why do they do it like that? It could have been Northern candidate, vice and president and vice, North, or South. Why are they doing it like that? It is apart from Tofa, that election then, MKO then. We stopped this Muslim ticket until now. Tinubu brought it in. And that's why you left the APC at that time, according to you. Even Buala says so. The same Buala is now in the same government with the Muslim ticket. So these people, forget this people. Forget whatever they say. Do your personal research. That's what saves you. If you are listening to what these hypocritical politicians are saying, you will enter the dish. Do your research. That's AI now. Just type the question. They will pull up all the information from different articles. You just read it and understand what happened. Don't listen to this. They will put you in a pool you will not come out from, because most of them the hatred is too much. Some of them had evil mind. Some of them hate progress. Some of them don't like people making progress on their own. So they want to be part of that progress. When they are not part of it, they will attack you. That's what they are doing. So, well, I wish ADC all the best. I hope that maybe in the 100 years time, when Federal High Court will hear their case, that they will still be existing by then. And because of their foolishness and inactivity, that's where they end up today, in the court. If they have nipped Balagumbe in the bud too early, maybe it would have cut off from the APC guys who are working with him. Who knows? So, well, it's been established that 2027 general election, the next couple of weeks, we will know the candidates of every party. And by then, we will now make choices who to support and how to cast our vote. So we'll be waiting to see what happens. But tomorrow, 10th of May, INEC receiving registration, register of members from political party ends on the 10th of May. After that, nobody comes to any other party, because no party is open to accept anybody. So to me, I say congratulations to Peter Obi and Kwankwaso. What they did is their best, card that they played. And all those who followed him to NDC, congratulations to you. Those of you who want to contest, I'm glad I'm seeing Aisha Yusufu trying to contest for Senate, seeing Peter, Peter for Nigeria, Peter Aka, also trying to contest. I'm happy. That's what we want to see. You can't change many things from outside. You have to be inside to change so many things. So it's good. Young guys, young people coming out, trying to try their luck. And with the obedient wave, they may find themselves there and they start speaking up and things will start changing for the better. So it's time to retire these greedy, politicians who always think of how to buy SUV of 140 million for themselves and their families, who have retinues of security. They don't care how many people were kidnapped and killed. It's time to retire all of them. So that's the time. So guys, wake up, put aside your differences, support the best candidate who's going to turn things around for the country. That is our goal. I don't care where the person come from, but the person who can change, the narrative of the country, the image of this country, because anywhere you go now, our name is always on the, bad side of things. So we need to do a lot of things to change things, and we need good guys who will do that change. That's why you have to vote for somebody who has that capacity, who has that clean record to do that change. So I wish you guys all the best. So I'm going to leave it to slide there. My comment section is open for you to put your comment in the comment section, and let me see what you think. In all the videos you have seen Kenneth Okonkwo doing everywhere, speaking against Peter Obi and his political career and all of that. Do you think it's the right thing to do? Do you think he's shooting himself by the foot? Do you think, as his former spokesperson, what he's doing is right? In terms of attacking somebody and spewing a lot of lies, half truth on what he's saying. So, guys, my comment section is open. Put your views in my comment section. I'll continue to debate about that. So before I go, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that when my next video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. I'm gonna see you in my next video. I'm so glad you watched this video to the end. I'm signing out. See ya.